Welcome back to The Explainer. Okay, today we are diving into an absolutely monumental matchup. I'm talking a true clash of giants. Two massive teams, one destiny on the pitch. We're looking at England versus France. We're going to analytically break down the tactics, the stats, and the raw data to answer one very simple question. Who is actually going to dominate the pitch when these two forces collide? So grab your notebooks because we are breaking down the tactical mechanics of this showdown right now. Okay, let's dive right into this. The experts covering this matchup, they're not mincing words about the stakes here. They call it exactly what it is. This isn't just a match, it's a football war. We aren't looking at some casual friendly game, we're looking at a high-stakes clash of two completely different footballing philosophies. You can practically feel the tension, and the strategies are incredibly deeply entrenched. So to truly understand how this war is going to be fought, we need to break down the specific arsenals that each side is bringing to the battlefield. Let's start by looking at the challengers. The English powerhouse, characterized by power, discipline, and an infusion of rising stars. So England's core strategy, it's really built on this massive foundation of absolute grit and unity. They don't just rely on flashy tricks. Their bedrock is imposing power and incredibly strict discipline. But what makes them truly formidable right now is how they've taken that rigid structure and combined it with a sudden infusion of these amazing rising stars. It creates this elite teamwork foundation. They're a unified front, essentially operating as one massive synchronized machine out there on the pitch. Moving over to the other side of the pitch, we have the incumbent Goliath, the French arsenal, defined by speed, skill, and attacking firepower. Now, in stark contrast to England's disciplined setup, France brings just a terrifying level of offensive capability. I mean, we are talking blistering speed and absolute world-class skill. Their whole strategy leans heavily on elite attacking firepower. They present this unmatched offensive danger that's literally designed to overwhelm opponents before they even have a chance to set up their defensive lines. It's this super aggressive, forward-moving methodology that just constantly puts the opposing team on the back foot. All right, but these broad team philosophies aren't just abstract ideas. It's time for the player showdown, the tactics in action. And this brilliantly illustrates what happens when those tactics hit the grass. When you compare the mechanics at play, the contrast is stunning. England's mechanism is collective teamwork. You've got key players like Bellingham and Kane working together to change the entire flow of a game in mere seconds. And facing off against that, France's heavy reliance on sheer, unadulterated speed, centralized in Kylian Mbappé. I mean, he is unequivocally one of the fastest, most dangerous forwards on the planet right now. It really is dynamic, collective power going up against explosive individual speed. So we've looked at the tactical theories and the key personnel, but let's look at by the numbers, the statistical reality. So the crucial point here is what happens when we strip away the emotion and just impartially look at the raw stats. A very clear picture emerges. Current form, the advantage goes to France. They're statistically ahead overall. Attack, France again, driven by sharper offensive metrics. They also edge out England in midfield creativity and, arguably the most crucial one, in big tournament experience. Across the board, the cold, hard analytics. Actually, let's just be real. The numbers pretty clearly dictate that France is slightly favored in almost every critical category. Which brings us to our synthesis, the final verdict. Stat versus heart. Because let's face it, as definitive as those numbers look on paper, we have to pause. Football is just beautifully and frustratingly unpredictable. Despite France being the statistical favorite, England possesses this incredible fighting spirit. They absolutely have the disciplined power to completely shatter those statistical probabilities and turn the whole game upside down. Ultimately, when that whistle blows, the numbers and the tactics kind of just fade away. One match, one winner, one moment that will go viral forever. Beyond the structured analysis of Bellingham, Kane, and Mbappé, this matchup is destined to create a legendary piece of sports history. The stakes literally could not be higher. So, we've broken down England's disciplined, teamwork-driven powerhouse. We've analyzed France's blistering, statistically dominant attacking speed. You got all the data, all the structural insights, and the tactical matchups. So, I'm turning it over to you. Based on the evidence we've explored in the Explainer today, England versus France, who do you think will win? Drop your heavily researched predictions, and I will see you all next time.